Okay, all right, here I am again. Hello there, Aldreama Harper here, productivity strategist and coach. How are you today? How are you today? Hey, I'm just gonna hop on. I wanted to hop on really quick to do this live video just to kind of share with you 3 simple steps to declutter your world. So if you are joining me for the first time, my name is Aldreama Harper. And what I'm going to do is I am going to share this out, and I would love for you to do the same. So give me just a second here. I'm going to share this out on my page. And if you know of someone, hey, Dr. Arvella, thank you for coming back. Yeah. If you join me on the live, then thank you, Dr. Arvella. I appreciate it. And if you join the replay, then make sure that you put hashtag replay so that I can shout you out. So let me share this really quick, and let me know where you're joining me from while I'm doing this. This won't take me but a second to do that. And yeah, this won't take me but a second. And thank you so much for joining me. So where are you joining me from? And what do you do? I would love to know. Let me know what you do to declutter your world. That's what we're going to be talking about. All right, there we go. And we're good. All right. Okay, you're in Cali. I don't know that I knew that, but hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. I do know some peeps in Cali. And so yeah, so thank you for joining me. So yeah, so I'm going to be talking about three steps to declutter your world. You know, when I talk to a lot of people, particularly entrepreneurs, and trust me, I've been in this business since 2003, and I have seen a lot. When I say a lot, I've seen a lot of clutter. And so awesome. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Oh, I love that. I love that. Thank you, Dr. Arvella. And so I've seen a whole lot of, clutter, and I've seen a whole lot of scenarios when it comes to, people trying to attempt to, clear out the clutter. So what I'm going to be sharing with you is actually not just for specific types of clutter, like, there's, paper clutter, there's clutter, residential clutter, there's office clutter, there's digital clutter, right? There's all types of clutter. And so the 3 steps that I want to share with you is actually going to work for all types of clutter, right? It doesn't matter because clutter is clutter. And if you've been on any of my live videos before, or if you've, been, in contact with me before in any way, and I've talked about, productivity, time management, and getting organized, right? I'm always willing to share, a whole lot of value and a whole lot of, words to help empower you to get things done and get your clutter removed, right? So let's just get into the content here, because I want to share with you these 3 steps, and I know that these 3 steps will help you in getting rid of your clutter. And again, it doesn't matter what kind of clutter we're talking about, right? So, and I've actually heard there's a lot of different organizers and, professional organizers, whether it's online or in person or what have you, talk about this same process. So this may not be new to you. However, this definitely still works. And it's a matter of going in this sequence that I'm going to share with you, right? Because you may have heard of these steps before, but it's important that you go through this sequence that I'm going to share with you. So the first thing you want to do is you want to purge. You want to purge, right? And I've heard people talk about, these steps, in a totally different sequence, right? They talk about, well, the first thing you need to do is organize. The first thing you need to do is sort. No, the first thing you need to do is purge. And the reason you need to do that is because you need to figure out what are the things that's no longer serving you well, because you are supposed to be the master of your space, whether that's mental space, whether that's a physical space, whether that's a digital space. It doesn't matter. You need to be the master of your space. Okay. And so the reason you want to start with the purging process is so that you can begin to see what are those things that's no longer serving you? What's no longer serving you well? Maybe you're holding on to documents that's no longer relevant, right? And I'll share with you one of the things that I struggle with in terms of purging are books. I don't know about you, but I love books. I mean, I love having books. I love reading books, and I love the feel, of books. I have a, book, right now that I'm going through. But the thing is, you have to figure out what are the things that's no longer serving you, that's no longer serving you well. And you want to begin that purging process first. So that's the first thing you want to do before you begin, purchasing items, before you begin, sorting anything. You need to get rid of stuff that's no longer serving you, right? That's no longer serving the purpose. Maybe it's not relevant anymore for where you are. We go through phases in our lives, right? And so what may have been serving you, 10 years ago is not serving you any longer. So if you go through your files, if you go through, the books that you have, and, definitely want to be careful about the books, because like I said, that's one area that, I struggle. But I will say this, that at least once a year, I will go through my books. And even if I get rid of 2 books, right, and bless someone else, maybe you can decide to donate, right? Or maybe you know someone that may be in need of that particular topic or something that, maybe it's not serving you as it used to, right? Or maybe it's not relevant for where you are, or maybe it's not relevant for, the current time, right? So you want to make sure that you look at all of these, things that's no longer serving you. It may be clothes that's no longer serving you, right? Bless somebody else with it, right? So look at how you can purge. You need to purge first, right? So step number 2, now you want to begin the process of sorting. Now that you've gotten rid of all of the stuff that's no longer serving you, now that you've gotten to the point where it's like, okay, now I know what I'm dealing with, right? That's why I say you need to go through this sequence, right? Purge first, then sort, right? In the sorting process, you're going to begin to apply categories to your things. And again, this applies to digital clutter. This applies to mental clutter, right? What do I mean by mental clutter? One of the things that I always recommend my clients do is do a brain dump, right? You want to purge all of that stuff that's in your head, dump it on paper, right? Or maybe you, use some other type of device to help you to purge. Maybe you, use your phone. I mean, that's a perfect way to do a brain dump, right? But you definitely want to purge the information that's in your head, right? Because we consume a lot of information, right? But you want to purge your mental, that mental place, that your brain and your mind, because things are always turning in your brain, right? So this process applies for mental clutter. It applies for digital clutter. It applies for residential stuff, clothes and things like that. It applies to your office. It applies to your files, all of that. This process, if you use this process and go through this sequence, you will get some results. Hi there, Enid. How are you? Thanks for joining. And so the first thing you want to do again is purge. The second thing you want to do is sort. Now you can begin, now that you see what you have and you've purged the stuff that's no longer serving you, whether it's, relevant or, what have you, you want to begin to sort what you have. You want to put these things in categories, right? If it's books, maybe you have, like for me, I have a lot of books on organizing. I have a lot of books on time management. I have a lot of books on business. I have a lot of books on, entrepreneurship. I have a lot of books on, biblical principles, right? So these are all different categories that you can now begin to establish and look at the items that remain in your space, right? And so now you're creating a system, a process for when you begin to receive other things. Maybe now that you've purged and you've gotten rid of, some books. Now you can think about, okay, I've been thinking about this book that I wanted to purchase. Now I can go and order this book, right? And so now you have, absolutely, Dr. Arvella, you must do a brain dump. And the second thing, you must begin to sort. So you sort by putting things in different categories. So you're now creating a system for things that come in, right? And if you've heard me say, you may have heard me say this before, clutter impedes on movement, right? And so if you are, constantly bringing stuff in, what's going to happen? You're just going to have a whole bunch of clutter, right? Because it needs to move, right? And so you want to begin, the second step is to sort. You have stuff in categories, right? You now have a system in place, right? And so as you begin this sorting process and you see that now you have the different categories that begin to emerge, and you're now beginning the process of having a system in place, now it's time to organize. One of the things that I see a lot of is where people will start, they're so excited, it's like they want to start the organizing process first. And so all you're doing is you're organizing a bunch of stuff that you haven't even sorted through. And so now you have an organized mess, right? And so again, you want to go in this sequence. Make sure you go in this sequence. Number 1, purge. Number 2, sort. Then number 3, now you organize. Now you can go to the store because now you know what you have. You have the categories. Now you can purchase the little cute, containers and bookshelves or whatever you want to, use for organizing. But you must go in this sequence in order to have a successful decluttering process. And again, this is what you will use. This is the process that you use for everything. If you are going to be decluttering, if you are going to go through the process of decluttering your brain, decluttering your mind, decluttering digital stuff, decluttering, stuff in your kitchen, it doesn't matter. Go through this process, right? Purge, sort, organize, and you will have a successful decluttering event. You can call it an event because, a lot of people don't like to do this part, right? But this is the process that I use on all clients, I go through this process first. And a lot of times what I will do is when I talk to, my clients, I will have them to go through this process sometimes without me, right? Because sometimes they kind of know, what it is they want to get rid of, but they haven't quite started, going through the process, or maybe they're trying to give themselves permission, to do so, right? But I promise you, if you use that sequence, purge, sort, then organize, get your organizing products, get your, because that's the part that's really exciting, right? Because as you begin to see, a clear, uncluttered place that you can, go in sit and be productive and be creative. And now you have a nice space, where you can get things done, right? It's no longer chaotic. It's no longer, cluttered. You're no longer hearing and seeing all of that visual noise that's before you, right? Now you can do that when you go through that process. So I want to look at the comments to see if there are any questions about what I've just talked about. And so make sure, so Enid, go ahead and make sure that you type in the comment section, what it is you do, where where you're joining me from and things like that. And so, yeah, so this, again, this process is this sequence rather, is extremely important to follow this sequence to get things decluttered, right? And it's very, very simple, right? It's not hard to do at all. But if you need some help, you can definitely inbox me and say, hey, Dream, I need some help, trying to figure out what it is I need to purge. I don't even know what it is I need to get rid of, because some people will get stuck there. Sometimes people will get stuck because, they hold on to a whole lot of stuff, for sentimental reasons, for, different reasons. One of the things that I used to do all the time, I would hold on to cards that I would get. Whether it was a birthday card or whether it was a Christmas card or what have you, I would hold on to those. But I later on, discovered it was like, I don't need to hold on to those things. Now, I will keep cards that I get from my husband, right? I will keep cards or things that I get that's really, people that, and not that people aren't important, but there's like a line that you have to draw when it comes to determining what you're going to keep and what you're going to get rid of in that purging process. So if that's something that you need assistance with, then make sure that you get in contact with me. And I also want to share, of course, I have, product placement here. If you don't know by now, you should. Let me just pick this up right here. I've written a book that's called Get Organized, 52 Productivity Secrets to Master the Art of Time Management, right? And so that book you can find at successbizacademy.com. Now, here's what you get when you order the book. It's not just the book. You do get a hard copy of the book with 52 productivity secrets, right? And the 52 productivity secrets, the reason that I entitled it 52 productivity secrets is because there are 52 weeks in a year, and I want you to have a new tip every week, okay? And so that's the reason that I wrote the book in that, with 52 productivity secrets to master the art of time management. So what you get is you get the book with 52 secrets, right? 52 productivity secrets. You also get an audio. This is a complete system. This is a complete training, okay? You also get the audio that accompanies the book. So you will get a hard copy of the book. You will get an audio. You also get a complimentary virtual decluttering session with me, right? So that I can assist you in this process, because sometimes you just need a little help, right? The reason that I know this is because I've been doing this since 2003. And so I have been going out to clients, whether it was residential clients, office, clients, business clients. I've helped pastors, I've helped attorneys, I've helped doctors, I've helped people in all genres of, professions. And so a lot of times you just need a little help, right? Sometimes you just need a jump start. And so that's the reason that I say that, this may be a sequence that's easy to follow, but sometimes you just kind of need that jump start, right? And so if that's something that you're interested in, then just go ahead, go to successbizacademy.com. The book the audio, and the session. You get these three along with some bonuses. It's just going to cost you $12.98. Now, I shared this on yesterday on a Facebook Live, and from some people that's purchased the book and that's gone through the decluttering session, and they're like, look, you need to stop giving so much away. So guess what? I am. So what's going to happen is I'm going to begin taking some of these bonuses away. The book by itself is worth the price, if I can say so myself, because not just because I wrote it, but because the people that's been consuming the content and going through the process and decluttering and getting, and manage and mastering the art of their time, right? And they have been, success. They have been getting success. They've been clearing their spaces. They've been clearing their heads. They've been, going through this process, and they're like, look, this is way, way, way worth, more than $12.98. But for now, I'm going to continue offering this until the end of the week. So today's Tuesday. So Friday, that offer is going to go off of the table. I will no longer be offering the decluttering session for free, because I can tell you right now, my decluttering sessions are, they start over just 1 hour. Is more than $200, right? So let's just start there, because you're going to need more than 1 hour in the first place, right? So I'm offering these decluttering sessions now as a compliment or complimentary to the book, just of my way of, giving back and showing my appreciation for, people who support me, right? Because you don't have to, you can go somewhere else, right? But I'm still offering those decluttering sessions for those who purchase the book. So go get the book, get the audio, and make sure that you grab your decluttering session, okay? This is done virtually, right? I used to, when I first started out in my business, I used to go out to clients and go to their homes, go to their, offices, and help them with the decluttering process. Well, now I'm offering these sessions virtually. So we will hop on a virtual call via Zoom so that I can see the space, give you some strategies that's going to help you to have a more successful decluttering process, right? Now, it may be that it's not your space. Maybe it is time management. Maybe it is, how can I add more hours to my day? How can I be more productive? What are some things that I need to be working on? All of that we will determine prior to your decluttering session, because just like I said before, it may be a mental decluttering, right, process that you may need assistance with. It may be that you need to figure out, how do I get my inbox? How do I get this, my inbox decluttered? So it may be a digital process or a digital decluttering process that you may be looking to have done, right? So just go ahead, go to successbizacademy.com, grab your book. You will get a book, a hard copy, but you will also get audio. Oh, and I forgot this, you'll get audio. So you get the hard copy of the book, you get the audio, you get the complimentary decluttering session. You also get access to my community, where I go in the group and I answer questions, right? It may be something that wasn't covered in the book. It may be something that, you're stuck on, right? It may be procrastination. It could be, anything that I can help you with. So you do get access to my Facebook community, right? So that is what I wanted to share with you. I wanted to make sure that I shared this, that you go through this process in that sequence. The first thing you want to do is purge. The second thing you want to do is sort. The third thing you want to do is organize. You want to purge because you want to make sure that you get rid of the items that's no longer serving you. You want to sort and begin to put things in the categories, because that will begin to emerge as you are dealing with what's remaining, right? And then you want to get organized, right? Then you can go and get the nice little containers and, you know, the pretty little baskets and things that you want to, you know, make your space more aesthetically pleasing, right? But you must go through that sequence in order to have a successful decluttering experience, right? And that's the 3 steps to decluttering your world. So again, the link is actually in the above this video. Go to successbizacademy.com, purchase your book, get access to the audio, the bonuses, the decluttering session, and the Facebook community where I can continue to support you. So I want to see if you have any questions about anything that I have talked about so far. Is there anything that, you know, you think, I have a question about this. I have a question about that, right? Let me know. I will also go back through the comment section. If you join the replay, I'll go back to the comment section and answer any questions that you may have. Be sure to share this out. Sharing is caring. I really appreciate you being on here with me and joining me on this broadcast. And yeah, so thank you for joining. Thank you for your comments. Thank you, Dr. Arvella. Thank you, Enid. Thank you for those of you that joined, even if it was for a brief session. Hopefully you can come back and listen to the entire broadcast. All right. I don't see any comments at this time. I will go back and check. Let me know if you have any questions. All right, that is all for now. For now, I will be back. Have an amazing day, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.